Good evening. Good evening, Jeremy. Good evening to everyone. Good evening to the viewers.
Good evening, Jeff. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Medyo, kailan pa tayo huling nag-live? I think that was Sunday morning. So, Monday, Tuesday, medyo nakapagpahinga ako ng konti.
Hmm.
Ah, wala ako sa wala ako sa opisina ko ng 2 days. I wasn't in my office.
Oh, okay.
I was
You're
working in
office.
I was working in my room. Pero nagtatrabaho pa rin na ah, ang sarap nung ano no, ang sarap nung kwentuhan natin before we went live, ano? Hindi na nga
Oh,
sana
yeah.
tayo magla-live, sarap na nung kwentuhan natin eh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So,
Well, you know
ano?
why?
Why?
You know the reason why? It's because the three of us have something in common,
Yes,
don't
and
you?
we have so many things in common.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, bago ko sabihin what we have in common, bati muna tayo, Jeremy, ah.
Oh, ba?
So, ito si Will Guerrero, good evening. Noemi, good evening. Superb. Good evening. Pressy, good evening. Abulok King, good evening. And Orland, good evening. Yes, so, so ano nga ba yung commonality natin, no? Marami. Love for what? Love for learning.
Oh,
Di
yes,
ba?
definitely.
He's
Love for learning?
he's also a consultant.
Oh, yeah. So love for imparting knowledge, I guess.
And I think
Acquiring knowledge and imparting it.
And
Diba?
best of
Sharing it
all,
with others.
oo. And I think
Mhm.
best of all, yung ating entrepreneurship side.
Yes,
Di ba?
definitely.
Oo eh. The topic tonight is all about creating curriculum for e-learning, no? So, ang guest natin tonight is already an expert in this topic, in this field, no? He has been doing this for so many years. He's doing it for adult learning as well as for elementary high school students, no?
Mm.
Without further ado, let's bring in our guest tonight, Mr. Miggy Saballero. Good
Good
evening,
evening.
Miggy.
Good evening, Jeff. Good
Yes.
evening, Jeremy.
Good
Good
evening
evening,
to
Kamusta?
you.
no?
Miggy.
Kamusta ka? Yes, oo. So, Miggy, tell us a bit about yourself, no? Paano ka ba napunta dito sa iyong consulting? Paano ba, saan ba nanggaling yung knowledge mo ng paggawa ng curriculum? And yun, dun muna tayo.
Okay, sige. Medyo mahabang kwento yan. Try ko iksian, ha?
Okay lang.
So right now, I currently work as a management consultant for a company called Management Strategies. So we're basically a training and development firm, and our clients are some of the top firms in the country, and we deliver mga learning programs for them. Now,
Okay.
my current role, actually, bago mag-COVID, ang role ko is team development head. So lahat ng mga team building programs design ko. But dahil nag-hit yung COVID, nawala yung lahat ng business namin, we were forced to adapt, and one of the things we did was to create a full curriculum, a learning curriculum na virtual and e-learning na we now deliver to our clients. No? I got here because of my background in education. Siguro, hilig ko talaga magturo eh.
Okay.
Just like both of you, di ba? And
Yeah.
I got started with formal teaching with Teach for the Philippines. I was a public school teacher for 2 years in Quezon City. After that, I helped co-found a chain of tutorial centers. Parang Kumon yung concept,
Yeah.
but it's a more progressive approach to it. And I
Oh.
built a year-long curriculum for math and a character development curriculum, project-based curriculum for kids there. And
Galing,
as an educator too, I also teach in Raya School, social entrepreneurship. So yun yung another commonality that we have, di ba? So
Oo.
we're all entrepreneurs here. So yun yung background ko, and I think I enjoy the process of creating curriculum plans and then topics
Oo.
for both adults and students. So yeah.
Hindi, actually, naiintindihan ko because I like putting together different topics, no? Which we think na makakatulong, makaka-address ng certain problems, no? So, yan. So, curious lang ako, no? When you teach social entrepreneurship, these are for how old? Are this for senior high school students?
For senior high, ngayon senior high, 12th grade, I'm about to teach again. Prior to this, it was mga 5th graders. So, ibang level ng social
Oo,
entrepreneurship. But the fun thing was they were in a semester, nakagawa sila ng mga negosyo na enjoy
Yeah.
naman nila yung process of earning, building or trying to earn profit, creating impact for community. So it's a fun experience. Kaya lagi kong binabalik-balikan when the school needs a new entrepreneurship teacher.
Interesting kasi, well, ako, I was able to teach college level entrepreneurship and even senior high school, no? Pero ang hindi ko pa na-try is the grade 5 students, no? Na entrepreneurship. Yan ang hindi ko pa nasubukan.
Talaga,
Uh,
grade 5, as early as that, they are
nawala,
being taught entrepreneurship.
nawala yata si Miggy. So,
Oh,
yeah.
ay.
Oo,
Talaga,
explain natin. Oh,
at that
he
age.
teaches daw entrepreneurship. Yeah, he teaches entrepreneurship for grade 5 students. Yan. So, my question kanina, Miggy, is yan, hindi ko pa nasubukan yung grade 5, no, students. So, well, anyway, sige, punta tayo siguro dun sa topic natin na ano ba ang pagkakaiba-iba when you doon muna tayo before we go to curriculum for e-learning. Doon muna tayo sa curriculum for the traditional way of doing it, no? Or at least ano bang pagkakaiba when you create a curriculum for adults, for high school, and for younger kids?
Yeah. Sige, well, the traditional way, kumbaga the academic approach to curriculum development is there are a few models out there. One is what we call the subject-based curriculum. So,
Okay.
mathematics, English, science,
Aha.
throughout the entire school year, ano ang latag ng lahat ng topics na yan. So, yun yung traditional na subject-based curriculum. The other would be, and ito yung the more popular ones na lagi tayo narinig, yung learner-centered curriculum. Meaning,
Yes.
it focuses on ano ba yung gusto natin, what do we want our learners to be as they go through this curriculum, what do we want them to learn, what attitudes, what skills do we want them to pick up, and we go from there. Usually it involves creating a full framework around what the kids or the learner should be developing throughout that as they go through that curriculum. And that goes for adults, that goes for kids, that goes for any person, whoever the learner is. Yung context nun is the most important. The other type, and this is the harder one to build, is the more parang problem-centric or problem-based curriculum, mga project-based. So there's a problem here. Let's say social entrepreneurship. We want to help fight poverty or help get people out of hard situations. How do we design the experience such that the learners are learning, but at the same time developing themselves and self-solving that problem at the same time? So yun yung tatlong models usually na ina-approach ng curriculum. So pinakasanay tayo syempre sa subject. And then ngayon more popular yung learner-centered. Rare pa, I would believe, yung mga problem-based and project-based curriculum here in the
So
Philippines.
what are the 3 types of curricula again? What was the
It's
first?
subject,
Okay.
learner, and then problem-based curricula.
And problem-based. Okay. And we mostly center on the subject-based, right?
Yep. If you look at the school system, we're mostly subject-based. But in depth ed, if you actually look at the full, yung full curriculum, they would say it's learner-centric. Kasi may full framework yan na ano yung ideal learner. And then, so yung subject curricula, like math, naka-anchor doon. So if the learner should be, if in that learner-centered curriculum, critical thinking is one of the competencies that we want to develop, math is anchored on that. The math subject curriculum is anchored on that. So nagme-mix and match din siya at least for the Philippine education sector.
So I guess that's what we are using. If it's an OBE-based syllabus, for example, that's going to be a learner-based, right? Because you have your graduate attributes, you have your objectives, everything, right? Okay. Interesting.
Exactly.
Oh, so I think before we can create a successful curriculum for remote learning. I think for me personally, isn't it are we just transferring it to become something aren't we just transferring it to digital learning, and yung foundation yun pa rin naman siya, di ba?
Yes, foundationally, yes, the learning we want to transfer that we want to transform and move that learning from face to face to
Oh.
electronic or virtual. Ang nagkakaiba yung behaviors, yung audience, yung expectations nung learner in a virtual setting versus a face to face. One critical is the pinaka-biggest challenge ngayon is the attention span ng mga learners. And both for adults and students.
Correct.
Right now, iba-iba yung studies, but some would say na hanggang 2 minutes lang attention span ng bata. In a virtual setting. Even adults, ganun din kaiksi. And so how do you maintain attention to
end na
diba?
natin, nakaka 12 minutes na tayo, end na natin to.
So dapat after every 2 minutes may bago tayong
Oo nga, may bago. Tama.
Yung
Sige.
nabasa ko naman, it's 7 minutes, no? 7
Yeah,
minutes.
diba? So dami. Exactly. So what we know is maiksi. And we need to capture the attention in that short amount of time, and we need to transfer learning. So yun yung malaking challenge.
So sige, puntahan na natin siguro yung mga main questions ko, no? Like for example, how do you plan for a curriculum, no, for e-learning? How do you plan? Where do you start?
Sure. Many different places to start. Ako personally, in my experience, and sarili ko lang tong design, pero gumawa ng mga C's ko of curriculum eh. So it starts. Sometimes I start differently. I start in different spots, but the C's are your curriculum objective, of course. Ano ba yung gustong ma-attain mo nung curriculum mo? What do you want to hit with that curriculum? Second, and very important, is the context of the learner, context of your audience. And then third, C would be competency. Ano yung mga skills that you want to transfer, knowledge you want to transfer, attitudes you want, and behaviors you want to change. Then tsaka na you focus on the content. Ano laman? Ano yung delivery? Ano yung format? There are a couple others, pero minsan mas minor. Ngayon, siguro mas relevant for e-learning is the creator. Sino ba yung nagde-deliver niyan? Sino nagde-design at nagde-develop? Kasi you still want a certain level of expertise when you're building this. And then right now, it's a minor consideration, but capacity. In a virtual setting, you can't have 50, ang hirap mag 50 students in a webinar. One, hindi mo makikita lahat ng mukha. So it's harder. So what's the capacity? What's your optimal number of students or participants in a, let's say, session, webinar, or format? So yun.
What's a good number, Miggy? What's a good number?
Good question. It depends on the school. On a school level, siguro, I would say mga 15 to 20, 25. On a practical sense, kung ilan yung kasya sa screen ng whatever technology you're using. So kung sa Zoom yan, 49 to 50, baka pwede pa. But ideally, you can see everyone in one go, in one look, no? And but for the other answer to that question, the other way to answer the question is depends sa topic. Like if you're dealing with adults, some topics, and you want to deep dive into, or older students, for example, and you want to have deeper and longer conversations, edi sana you have a smaller audience para you can manage the learning better. Because in a classroom setting, madali i-manage yung learning. And you can ask questions, but in a virtual environment, how are you able to do that? It becomes harder to watch people behave. How do you call on people effectively to get them to engage? So, yun. Does that answer your question, Jeremy?
Oh yes, thank you. Because I recently had a workshop, and it was about 25, and then it was our third day, I think. And then I was talking, and then suddenly I asked a question, and then for the first time, I did not get any response, and I was like wondering, okay, what is going on? Okay, maybe it's my internet, but I don't think so. Maybe it's their connection, but it seems like they are there. I could see their names, I could see their picture. So I don't know. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's the attention span or something else. But yeah,
And tama ka, Jeremy, yun yung mahirap eh. Before, if you were in a traditional setting, kapag may dead silence, makabawi ka agad eh. But in a virtual setting, ramdam na ramdam mo yung yung silence. And it feels so awkward as a teacher. Oh, grabe. So it's hard, yeah.
Totoo yun,
parang
no?
nag-silence din yung camera ko.
Oo. mukhang humihingi ng bagong camera yung computer mo. So, Miggy, nilagay ko rito yung mga C's, ayan, nandyan sa baba. So, tama ba tayo dyan? Curriculum, ayan So, to those watching, to those listening to us, ito yung framework, no? Ano to, Miggy? Kailangan ba sunod-sunod or you can start anywhere? Or you really have to start with the objective talaga?
Actually, I would say hindi siya linear. The reason being, there were times where I started with context. I saw, kasi context involves the learner realities, ano yung challenges na hinaharap nila, what do they know, what can they do, what skills do they have, and what mindsets do they carry, what behaviors do they do. And oftentimes, even as educators and as consultants, minsan yun yung una mo makikita eh, uy, parang kailangan nilang matutunan to.
So,
or parang
audience
ito yung
muna.
Kulang. Oo.
So C is the context, the audience, no? Estudyante,
yes.
Tama ba?
Yeah, the context of who will be learning, who the students are. So sometimes you start there. Sometimes if you don't know where to begin, you don't know who your audience is. If you're building a school, for example, curriculum objective ka mag-umpisa. And then sa competencies. Tapos you adjust based on the context of who your learners, who your target learners, target students are, enrollees are. Pero siguro ang common dyan is yung content creator, they come later on. So nag-mix and match between context, curriculum objective, and the competencies. Those three are critical kasi for me in having a successful curriculum.
On the I think I think what can be added here also is under context would be the capability of the technological capability of the students also, no?
Exactly.
Lalo na ngayon, no? Dahil I don't think lahat what do you call this, may access, no? So ako sa totoo lang, for a teacher, I think it's easier kung 100% walang access because alam mo na kagad yung paano mo gagawin eh. Unlike 50% may access, 50% walang access. So hindi mo ngayon alam kung paano mo gagawin, no? But so how would you do this? Do you have viewers right now with such condition, no? Na bahagi ng class nila meron technology, yung iba naman walang technology. Anong gagawin nyo? Actually, in 2 weeks from now, I've invited teachers, no, and what do you call this, mga coordinators, no, to talk about isa sa mga nakita namin. This is off topic muna, no. Isa sa mga nakita namin is yung the socio-emotional challenges of the students as they go back to school, no. Napakalaki nito kasi lahat tayo nakikita natin mga teachers, puro na lang technology, puro na lang content, puro na lang machine learning. But what about the socio-emotional challenges of the students, no? Especially right now na nakikita natin talaga yung totally polarized ang nangyayari. Itong part na to, lahat to may mga gadgets, walang problema yan. Paano naman kami rito, no? So, that is one of the things also na challenge pagdating, tingin ko rin, na makakatulong when it comes to curriculum development. How do we address, ikaw, in your opinion, how do we address these challenges, socio-emotional challenges, no?
Yeah, and thank you for raising that kasi ang laking, that's something that not everyone thinks about. And siguro, to go back to their question kanina, which one goes first, siguro, coming from that perspective, uunahin mo yung context kasi that's part of the context eh.
Yes.
Ano yung access nila? Sino may access? And kung 50-50 yan, kanino ka magde-design for? Will you design for the 50 who don't have access? Or will you be designing for the 50 who have access? So, parang may moral dilemma ka pa napunta bilang educator, di ba?
Correct.
And syempre yung social-emotional aspect of it. Are the students even ready to be learning?
Exactly.
And if they're not, what do you do?
Oh,
How do you get them ready to learn? Kasi mahirap din naman pabayaan yung
correct.
pagtuto ng mga bata. You don't want them to stop learning for an entire year, 'di ba?
Correct.
Yeah.
So siguro I would approach is iba-iba. Again, iba-iba ang nakikita ko approach man ng mga schools. Some schools, syempre halos lahat nag-send out ng survey to check kung ano yung access levels, internet speed, bandwidth, anong technologies, anong gadgets meron ka.
Yes.
So dapat may information ka na ganun because that will inform you how you best approach it. Kasi kung meron ka mang curriculum objective, gusto mo, gusto ko ituro tong mathematics this way. Pero yung technology does not support that, talo ka. Talo rin yung bata. Most importantly, talo yung bata. And so, siguro, and again, this is my personal take on it, I would do my best to design pa rin with those kids na wala. Yung kumbaga, if I use consulting terms, kailangan kumbaga idiot proof. So we design for people who don't know anything about the topic. This time we design for the kids who have the least access. Because pag naturuan mo sila, madali na i-adjust yung technologies mo to adapt to the kids who have, to the students who have. Mas mahirap yung mag-design ka for the students who have and then you adjust for the students who don't have. So you design na for the students who barely have anything, yung minimum technology that you can use. I know of someone na Facebook chat yung ginagamit. If that's the minimum, you can start there and then you build up. That's my, I guess, at least that's my opinion, but educators have different approaches for it.
Right. Sige, salamat Meron tayong dito from Cassiopeia. Hello Cassiopeia, Oh, this is good. Socio-emotional concerns are now being addressed by the mental health professionals, psychologists, and counselors. Okay. That's good
great
to know, no? Oo, kasi talagang I think importante yan, dahil yun nga, pabalikan ko na naman dahil hindi matututo kahit may technology ka, kahit ang ganda ng internet mo sa bahay, kung hindi ka ready because you are traumatized, you are stressed, no? Hindi ka rin matututo so hindi rin siya magiging successful, di ba? I mean, ikaw, Jeremy, what do you think?
Yeah, I definitely agree, 100%.
Oo. Kasi I think halos lahat na na-interview ko, local teachers, international teachers, lagi lang sinasabi, always start building relationships first. Palaging ganun muna, and that is the only way to make sure that you become successful in your teaching. But another question I have here is, I think you've already answered the strategies kasi itong mga C's mo, these are the strategies on how to implement it, no? But aside from creating relationships, how do you know as a teacher that you are successful in in the curriculum you created? Kasi parang ngayon pa lang natin gagawin ito. Okay, so do you see anything ahead na okay, ito yung mga pwedeng gawin or ito yung mga pwedeng factors na tingnan para masabi natin na we have been successful in creating a curriculum for remote learning?
Well, siguro balikan natin yung curriculum objective. Una, when you craft those objectives, dapat malinaw, dapat siyempre measurable yan at masusukat mo yan. From there, when you do the content, when you design your modules, your lessons, you have to make sure na you have the ample assessments in place. I would believe na some of the old ways we used to measure knowledge tests, kailangan magbago yung anyo. The format has to change. But it still has to be effective. And then I would say, siguro a multiple choice exam won't be the best, diba, tool to do in an e-learning. So you have to rethink that. How do you assess the behavior change? How do you assess knowledge acquisition? How are you able to assess skill transfer? So how are you able to do that? One example is you can ask yung mga demonstrations, pwede yan virtual, di ba? So you can have them demonstrate, build something in front of you, or
Correct.
present something in front of you that you can assess, and that will tell you if you're meeting your objective. If so, it doesn't again. It entails a rethinking of the entire way we've been doing things before. From designing lessons to creating assessments, and syempre engaging the learners. Kasi ngayon, iba yung pag-engage natin virtually. So, but again, it all boils down to how clear your objectives were in the first place. Kasi doon nakatahi lahat.
Okay. So speaking of the experience, Miggy, what would be a good activity for them? Oh no, my camera just went out again.
We can still hear you naman.
Okay
Yeah,
lang,
but
okay lang.
it's the DSLR, me. Anyway, going back. So when it comes to activities, all right, because teaching learning activities, all right. Let's say I have a topic, I just don't want to talk about it, right?
Mhm.
What I want to do is, I I don't want to spend a good hour talking about my topic. So what would be a good time for me to disseminate the topic and then make it more engaging for the learner? And how do I assess them after that? And not
Right.
without using multiple choice or any of these traditional ones.
Great question, no? To answer, siguro let's go back to one of the biggest challenges now in a virtual environment, yung attention span.
Yes.
And if you spent 1 hour to lecture before and then assessment, when you do virtual, that hour might be chunked into 3 or 4 10-minute bursts of
Sessions,
lecture, of videos, and of activities. So kailangan nag-mix and match yun, that para hindi monotonous yung lesson mo at hindi traditional yung pagtingin. And so, yun nga, first is you chunk it. You divide your lesson into sizable and also easy to absorb chunks that are ample for virtual. Second, in terms of activities, first and foremost, kailangan comfortable ka bilang teacher doon sa technology. Hindi pwedeng nangangapa ka right in front of your students. Lagot ka.
Correct.
If nakita nila, nagsastruggle si teacher, you lost them already. You will lose them already. Now, the advantage is, ang daming technologies that we can use. So you have Zoom, you have Google Hangouts, you have MS Teams, you have Blue Jeans, you have this one, StreamYard. And each one has its different features that you can leverage. In Zoom is one of my favorites. May breakout rooms. So pwede kong ipadala lahat yung students to their groups. What I usually do is I share Google Suite is a very easy to use feature. No? I give them a Google Jamboard to work on. They create their ideas there. They come back, they present, and then they share. If that's a limitation, kung hindi nila kaya mag-video, audio works. Get them to talk, get them to share. And yung assessments could be different ways. Yun nga, in a virtual setting, madali mag-present ngayon. Madali magpakita virtually. And you take advantage of that. You can take advantage of the opportunity na the kid can share at least their voice, if not their whole face in front, para you can see how they engage. You can actually keep them more active in the first place. Ito sidebar na lang, pero as a teacher, kailangan din yung presence mo virtually malakas. Hindi pwedeng malabo yung lighting mo, na hindi ka nila makita na maayos, hindi pwedeng blurry yung sounds mo. So your technology at the very least should be clear enough and help you. The technology should be helping you as a teacher deliver it well. So assessments multiple ways. I think it's a test of creativity. And it depends on your lesson, what topic. Pero ang daming the thing I always say is ang daming libreng technologies ngayon that we can always try out. Biglang all of a sudden, because of this pandemic, lahat nagpapa-free trial. 'Di ba? Dati pinapabayad nila tayo lahat but right now everything is on free trial. So try those out and see what's worth it and see what you want to invest in and then use that.
Sige, maganda yan Tapos pupunta naman ako doon sa paradigm. Okay. Let's say, for example, I think one of the challenges that needs to be addressed also as a teacher is how do we shift our paradigm from talking, no? Yung ginagawa sa classroom. Kasi pag umiikot ako, meron pa rin naman ako nakikitang ganun din. Ganun pa din na 40-50 minutes na sanay, no? Paano ngayon? I mean, in terms of paradigm shift, where and how do we start?
Paradigm nino, Jeff. Natin?
Ng teachers.
Nating lahat.
Nating
Or
lahat,
nating
oh. Nating
Yep.
lahat, oh. Na when it
And-
comes to, di ba merong traditional delivery of, like talking for like 40 minutes, So how do we move away from that paradigm to like, yun nga, yung ginagawa natin na Miggy, yung 70-20-10, di ba? Na, 10% lang and then 70% activity. May challenges dyan eh. One is the paradigm of us teachers, no? Of doing it like how we've done it. The other challenge there that I see would be the parents. Si teacher hindi nagsasalita. Hindi nagtatrabaho si teacher. Yun ang magiging dating. So how do we educate? How do we shift the paradigm?
Ganda ng question kasi lahat tayo nagsa-struggle din ngayon eh. Kasi
Oo.
lahat tayo, syempre mahilig magsalita. As trainers, as educators, sanay tayo,
Oo.
di ba? Na we download information.
Correct.
If you follow the C's, dyan papasok yan sa content. And ako mismo, nag-struggle ako dito. From face to face, ang dami kong airtime, di ba? Pero sa virtual session, na hindi ko naman sila hawak the whole day, I just have them for an hour or two,
Correct.
kailangan marinig ko sila. And so, when you design your session, and lahat naman may mga lessons, kanya-kanyang lesson template, you time those in chunks, di ba? The question I always ask myself is, okay, one, anong percentage na ako yung nagsasalita? Minsan, napapansin ko, 80% ako to eh. Reshuffle ko yun, pinapunta ko na yun. Second question that I always ask is, what do I want to hear from my learners or my participants today? And in this section, what do I want to what do I want to draw out from them, or who, to be even more specific, who do I want to hear? Kung may estudyante ka, hindi mo pa narinig, who do I want to call in this portion? So you plan that out very carefully, and you make sure na there's even at least siguro unti-untiin nyo. Hindi kailangan na from kung before 80% ikaw nagsalita, 20% students. Hindi naman kailangan magbaliktad yun agad. Pwede, you start, okay, dito, okay, today 70% ako, 60%, hanggang ma-50-50 mo siya. And siguro the message there is, you don't set realistic expectations for yourself. It's gonna be hard kasi behavior change pinag-uusapan eh.
Yeah, right.
So the minor improvements, and one thing would help is you get observers, people to observe you, give you feedback immediately after. I do that with my co-consultants and co-trainers. Sabi ko, uy,
Tama,
observe mo naman ako. And then I asked them, uy, I felt like I was talking too much. Can you give me feedback? What can I do to engage the learners more? And they give me valuable feedback. And alam ko, aware na ako dun. Oh my God, I talked too much during that session. I didn't hear much from them. So,
Tama.
consciously, people will give you that feedback naman. So,
Tama.
that would help. That would
Okay.
switch your mindset. But again, it takes time.
Correct. Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I'll ask Jeff and Miggy if you could give me some feedback.
You want me to give you feedback?
Not here, Jeff.
Kami yung palagi magkasama kasi pagka nagtitrade ni Jerry B, no? Yung sa mga clients namin for customer service, sales, no? Hopefully meron pa mga iba. But anyway, so basahin muna natin to from Cassiopeia. Maganda rin itong sinasabi niya. That is a challenge with which the teacher needs to needs to innovate and be creative in ways to sustain and have the learners engage in the process. Yes, I agree, no? The session becomes more engaging now and feedbacking helps too. Correct, no?
Yep.
Yeah. So, well, right now, we're in... Yeah, no? Alam mo, teachers, Yan. Mag-invest kayo sa ganyang mga sound effects. Maganda sa classroom yan, ha? Hindi. Ay, nawala si Miggy. Naputol si Miggy. No, but seriously, no? Tama si Cassiopeia, no? We want an engaging classroom. So kailangan lalo na ngayon, kailangan marami tayong yan. Balik natin si Miggy, wait lang.
Yeah.
Yan,
Yan,
so, welcome back. So, no, sabi ko, Miggy, kailangan, as teachers, I mean, tayo, no? Marami tayong, since online nga ito, marami tayong tricks, no? Like,
Yes.
mga pakulo na ganyan, no? To engage students. I mean, I don't think this will work for some learners, maybe for adult learners, baka hindi siya gumana, but for, classroom setting, baka matutuwa sila dyan, di ba? So, pero I guess kung even adult learning, matutuwa sa mga ganyan sound effects if they...
Oo naman, di ba? We do it naman eh. Yeah.
Oo, di ba? Papalakpak, whatever. So yung mga nanonood, teachers ngayon, I think you can find ways on how to, add fun. Actually, I guess that's the message there in remote learning I think the curriculum itself, ang magbabago dyan, ang malaking magbabago, well, I think lahat magbabago, no? I think even the objectives. Feeling ko
And
dati...
siguro one important thing then is at this point na lahat tayo on the same page even with our learners. Lahat tayo naninibago dito eh. Huwag tayo mahiya na magtanong sa students. Uy,
correct.
Ano pang ideas nyo to make our classroom more engaging? This is a perfect chance for us to involve the students in the learning process. Knowing very well na madami sa kanila mas gamay yung technology kaysa sa atin.
Tama.
At baka mas may alam silang techniques na hindi pa natin napapractice. At ma-share nila sa atin yun, gaganda. And syempre, if and when you use a suggestion by a student, syempre, thanks to Jeff for suggesting this to me last time. So, ganun, di ba?
Oo. Hindi, totoo. Sa, what do you call this? Meron nag-message kasi, may nag-message dito, medyo na hindi ko mabasa. But anyway, tama, Miki, no? Maganda yung idea na hihingin mo yung, what do you call this? Feedback, no? From students, no? And tama yung sinabi mo na kailangan yung presentation ni teacher is also something engaging. And that is also one of the reasons why ang dami nag-aaral sa amin ngayon ng PowerPoint presentation. Because nung ina-assess ko yung mga teachers, they feel that they need to improve on how they present to their students so that they can really make sure that the students are engaged, no? Yun. Basahin nga natin itong mga comments natin dito. Ano ba itong sinabi? Remove nyo caption, guys. Ano to sabi ni Doan dito?
Saan? Which one?
Wala na the caption. Nawala na yung caption. Kanina there was a caption earlier. Let's read. Baka yun, very good discussion. I agree with all the points, especially the one about allotting an even or at least close to even talk time for the instructors and learners. Content will also be more relevant if we base it on the learner's insight, so we are sure they can relate to the topic.
Thank you, Don.
Totoo yun, no? Being able to relate, napaka-importante niyan. I think going back to my experience, no, in high school, when I was back in school also, parang what do you call this? Kung hindi ako makarelate sa topic, nawawala ako.
Yep.
And I think it goes for everyone.
Yeah, hindi lang naman ikaw siguro, Jeff, no?
Oo.
If you're you get to be lost in your own thoughts, right?
Yes,
if you can't relate to the topic, so.
And Jeff, yung maganda dito kasi if we're teaching online and we're teaching live, if magkaroon ka ng idea on the spot, maganda ata, pakita ko tong video na to or article na to, pwede mo i-pick out eh. Pwede mo i-search, students, take a look at this, tell me what you think. So on the spot, you can adjust. And siguro, alam ko uncomfortable yun for a lot of teachers, but accept na, the flexibility you have if you have a stable connection, if the technology works for you,
Tama.
to make the lesson even more engaging right on the spot.
Correct,
Ngayon,
correct,
hawak
correct.
mo yung technology. Dati, kung nasa classroom ka, di mo magawa kasi, ay, sayang, if I brought this, pwede ko ituro, pero hindi mo nagawa. Ngayon, you have it at your fingertips. So
Yeah.
just click it, drag it, share it in the chat box. Please take a look or share a video on YouTube. You can do it live. So ang daming possibilities now that we're online too. Daming
Agree.
challenges, pero ang daming possibilities.
Yan. Gaya nito. Ganito. Yan.
Ayan,
nabanggit mo, pumasok sa utak ko. No, pero ito lagi namin napapag-usapan to. Itong SAMR, natutuwa ako rito, no? Kaya lagi kong inuulit-ulit yan dun sa mga nanonood sa atin, no? Because at the end of the day, what we want here is to redefine how we learn. And one of the examples here is to bring in students. Well, since we are using technology, hindi na hindrance yung mag-imbita ka ng student from another country, no? And to collaborate on a certain project for today. Let's say, for example, someone from the US or Japan or wherever, di ba? Invite them over your Zoom classroom, and then they can, para kami international students within your classroom. So, because you don't have to be physically be there in the class right now. Virtually, pwede na. So you can redefine education, you can redefine the project, you can redefine assessment by, putting different people together in one classroom.
Yep, exactly.
So, yung sa mga nanonood, well, I want to throw a challenge to everyone right now, no? Na, in a classroom setting, you can invite students from different schools na magkakatulungan kayo about learning from one another. Yun. So, basahin natin to. Si Cassiopeia. Thank you, Cassiopeia, for always joining the conversation.
Yes.
We truly appreciate it. Ito yung gusto talaga namin dito eh. Both ways, teachers and learners become more open-minded, adaptable, and flexible in the process, realizing one's potential and strengths as well as allowing oneself to improve in an area where you are not so good at. Students are much of a visual learner. Yes, tama. Sabi ni Beth Cunyo, ano kaya ang ibig niya sabihin ng silent listener? Baka siya yun.
Hi, Beth.
Hi, Beth.
Okay.
Yan.
Miggy,
yes. Go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah. No. It's just a simple question, Jeff. Miggy, my question is, for example, I'm teaching a topic, right? And then there are some parts of the topic wherein I want to go in depth, right? So would it be okay if I made a video beforehand and I just share it to my learners instead of me discussing it to them synchronously, right?
Yeah, of course. So, di ba, there's a synchronous one, then there's asynchronous. Knowing you have limited class time, and I think a lot of schools are doing this now, they're limiting the class time, but they're also allowing their students to have asynchronous learning. So, your video, Jeremy, you can share it. Okay, we had a good discussion this morning. If you want to deepen it, here's a video I made for you. So, watch it, and then let's talk about it during the next session. So they can watch it outside of the class hours, of formal class hours, and then balikan nyo sa next session. So that's a totally great strategy as a teacher to do.
All right.
Kasi para masulit yung oras, di ba?
Yeah. Diba? Tsaka there are times wherein you want to be more elaborate with your video, right? Like, but you don't have time for it on a live session. So it's better if you could show it through a video, which is pre-recorded, right?
Yep. Actually, yan ang advantage ng technology. It's very flexible. Agile, it's flexible, it's agile, no? It's there, no? Ano maisip mo, may makita ka, i-play mo, and it creates more room for creativity and innovation, no? Especially for the students. So, well, ang bilis ng oras natin, Jeremy.
Oh, well.
Oo, ang bilis ng oras natin. We're almost done, no? So, I'm going to my last question. Um, how do you make now the curriculum inclusive?
Balik tayo dun sa sa context. You look at your learners, understand where they are, understand what their biggest needs are. If it's you need to give emotional support ba muna, or you need to give technological support to the students, and you make sure that when you design your curriculum, at least for me, you design with those who have the least access in mind. Because once you take care of those with the least access, madali na include lahat ng iba. Pero kapag nag-design ka for those with great access, madami ka na-exclude. So, siguro, it's all in the context of your learners, your audience, your students. And that will make your curriculum more inclusive than you would imagine.
Okay. So kumbaga the least will be the first.
Yes.
All right.
Kasi
Sige.
kung di mo sila isipin, paano na sila? Sila na nga yung pinakawala. Sila pa yung napabayaan. Iwan sila. And we don't want that to happen. Diba? So, as teachers, responsibility natin sila eh. Pag naalagaan natin sila, naalagaan na natin yung the others, yung iba.
The others, yeah.
No.
Well,
Hey,
by the
ikaw,
way,
Jeremy.
Jeff, let's ask our audience if they have any
Sige.
more questions for Miggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Any more questions or any comments that you want to share before we end the program? Yan. So, well, Miggy, no, sa akin, my biggest takeaway is really understanding the students, no. Siguro, another good topic would be how to really understand the students beyond asking what they are capable of the tools they have, no. Most of the time we focus only on the tools, no.
Yes.
Pero yung talagang deeper needs nila is should also be addressed, no. Minsan kasi hindi tools, no?
Totoo.
Minsan yung emotional needs, minsan, I don't know, marami, no? But, anyway, so ito, basahin natin. From Cassiopeia, thank you to Sir Jeff and Jeremy. It's really great being here. Learning is collaborative and interactive. Yes, totoo yan. Cassiopeia, and, as well as to Doan, no? Maraming salamat for always interacting with us. There is so much to learn. It's so noteworthy of the time. Congrats for today. Thank you too, Sir Miggy. It's
Thank you,
excellent and
Cassiopeia.
very clear session with you, Yippee. Yan.
Thank you, Cassiopeia, and I still love your name.
Thank you. And congrats, nice topic, Vince Tulagwe. Maraming salamat, Vince. Lagi ring nanonood sa atin yung si Vince. So, yun ang takeaway ko, no? Start with the context. Start with the students, no, na go beyond understanding what they can do. Yan.
Yep.
Let's ask naman si Jeremy. Yan. What your takeaway is?
My takeaway is really simple. Again, we start with the objectives. And then after the objectives, build your other 6 C's, right? So the competencies, of course, the competency of the creator, which is, I guess, me, right? So familiarize yourself with the technology you're using, as well as try to understand the needs of the learners, right? That's the most important thing.
Correct. All right. So with that, Miggy, maraming salamat. Thank you for sharing your time. Thank you for
Jeff and
sharing
Jeremy and everyone.
Yes.
Thank you,
Salamat
Miggy.
din sa pag-share ng iyong time and knowledge, no? I'm sure maraming gagamit ng iyong Cs. Ibabalik ko lang iyong Cs, no? Para
Yeah. Nice
para
yan. Jeff.
Ayan. So, the curriculum objective, the context, the competency, the capacity, the content, and the creator. Yan. Marami ang mga Cs. Ilan ba yan? 1, 2,
Anim.
3, 4,
Six.
ang daling tandaan, 60. Ayan.
60. Oh, maganda yan. Pwede ko ba gamitin yan, Jeff?
Oh, pwede.
Pang mga
60.
60 teachers.
Pampa-60 teachers. Ayan. Alright. So, Miggy, thank you very much sa mga nanood sa atin. Maraming salamat. Alright. Again, good night to everyone.
Good night, everyone. Thank you. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Jeremy.
Thank
Welcome.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, Jeremy, it's another fun
Yeah.
night, no? Oo, and yeah,
Definitely.
maraming salamat sa mga nanood sa atin. So, yeah.
You know what, Jeff? I'm more
Yes.
energized. I'm more energized because I'm
Why?
supposed to. I'm supposed to ready myself for the upcoming classes that I'm gonna be handling, and yeah, so I guess this is very timely for me.
Oo nga eh. Sa mga gagawin, and not just for you, sa mga teachers din, no? Na nanonood, no? Malaking bagay ito kasi alam ko, busy kayo because of gumagawa na kayo ng inyong mga modules, no? But
Yes.
hopefully, the topic tonight helped you. Alright.
Yeah.
So, yun.
Saka it's not just for academics, Jeff. It's also for
No.
what we do as well, right?
Yeah.
The consulting work with our corporate clients.
Yep, oo. And, well, anyway, sige, maraming salamat sa inyo.
Yep.
Okay.
Good night, everyone.